We ready? Yes. I just want to start off and just thank our fans. I usually don't get distracted by much in a game, but when I first come out, man, I just kind of stopped and looked and went, wow, the atmosphere was unbelievable. And, man, they packed the house. And my favorite part of the game, because I'm busy usually coaching pretty hard during the game, they make it a 3-point game. And then our entire crowd starts chanting. Man, that was awesome. That's something I haven't seen. And, man, I'm just very grateful for that. And it's a great time to be a Sun Devil. So proud of our players. We're building something very, very special here. And I'm really proud of our players, not only that we're winning, but how we're winning. A lot of people, we probably surprised some people. We haven't surprised ourselves. Because when you work hard, you do things the right way. You don't have to be the most talented in the world, and our guys are talented. But man, I'm proud of their development. I'm proud of our coaches and how they teach. Man, I mean, we're laying a foundation. We talk about building a national power, and I passed that trophy when I was walking into the Wells Fargo. It was kind of nice, kind of like seeing that thing. And I'm bound and determined to bring that to this valley and to do it the right way. And Dr. Crow and I, talk all the time about, winning a championship and winning a national championship. We won it all, but doing it the right way. I think we're doing it the right way, and really proud of our players. Our players deserve all the credit. Just absolutely incredible. Have to give Notre Dame credit, man. I mean, they came roaring back, and very, very tough, hard-fought, third quarter. But I just thought the statement when we got the ball, it was a 3-point game, and I stood in front of them. I said, I'm going to tell you what championship teams do. They take the ball, and they go stuff it down their throat, and they score. And that's exactly what they did, and I was pretty impressed with that. And told them I'm not big. I don't hand out a lot of compliments to our defensive guys, but they'll tell you that. But I went over there at the end of the game. I said, I think the people in the stands got their money's worth today, and I like that. I like all those explosive plays. I wish we didn't give up some of them, but really pleased. We got a real football team. Really proud of them. Questions?
Raise your hand. We'll get a mic to you. Start with Tyler. Todd, you said on Thursday that this game was an opportunity to take a big step forward. What is winning on this stage against a team like that? What kind of statement does that make?
I mean that's a good football. I mean, that team went toe-to-toe with Florida State, and Coach Kelly is such an incredible football coach. I've coached against him since 2010, and so I mean, to anytime you can beat a team that has the coaching and the character, and obviously, I mean that the only other team beat that team this year is Florida State, and I think we beat them a lot, more soundly than the way they've been beat. So, it makes a big statement about the fact that we've got a really, really good football team, and we haven't accomplished any of our goals. But I would tell you that's got to be, if not the biggest game we've won since we've been here. It's got to be up there. And I can tell you, for a fan of college football, growing up playing football in a pasture in Mesquite, Texas, that's pretty awesome. That's pretty cool. I enjoyed that. So it's a lot of fun getting the opportunity to do that, and just seeing our players and seeing how they're growing. It's pretty incredible. But we've got unfinished business. We've got on the road at Oregon State, one of the best coached football teams in the Pac-12, and we got to stay humble. We got to stay hungry. We've got to go get the next one. You got to go win the next 3, and then we got to get it so we can play on December 5th. And none of those 3 games are going to be easy, and obviously Oregon State's the most important because it's the one right in front of us. And but I'm proud of our players, and I thought that was a win that tells the country that, hey, there's a football team in Tempe.
Todd, this is the 3rd week in a row when the other team has pretty much stolen the momentum, and you guys need to go down the field and get some points, and you were able to do so. How does that happen when it seems like everything's going the other team's direction?
I mean, I think that's all your training, and those things come into play. And I wish you could be on the sideline. We were talking we were going to do something like that. I think the fans would be really interested in that. and seeing what goes on down there. So if you could do that and just video everything, which we do, we video and capture everything, with our headsets and everything. We use it for highlight videos and use it for recruiting and things like that. But I think people would be fascinated in the growth of our players. Matter of fact, whenever, because I get, I'm a type A personality, so I get a little animated sometimes, and they even coach me and say, Coach, go to the next play. It's not doing us any good. You've been harping on that for, 4 plays now. Go to the next play. And and I like that too. And I kind of try to draw that out in them, and they've taken over their football team. And it would just be fascinating to see that. So I think the reason why that happens is, it's our personal, each individual is unique on our team. And we talk about that personal will where you dig deep, and these guys know how to get to that place and dig deep. And it's something we spend a lot of time visualizing on and talking about. And then there's no substitute. There's a price that's got to be paid for success. And we talk about that all the time. These guys are well trained and have invested an awful lot and come with great character. And so I think that's why you're able to win those games. And I think that it helps. It helps the fact that we've won so many close games. It really has. It's just almost a perfect storm we've had to develop. You have to go through that hard, tough, to win like we did at USC, to win like we did at Utah, win like we did at Washington, then to come back and win this one like this, and it surely wasn't easy. There's no substitute for that adversity that builds incredible character and intestinal fortitude. So in those critical times like you're talking about, these guys there's one heartbeat. This is the most selfless team I've ever coached. I've not had one player ask me about getting the ball, how many times they touched the ball, and that is the first time, I think, in 10 years. I don't know, how many years have I been? 10 years? 10 years as a head coach. That I've ever not had that. So this is a special group. I think it's why they dig deep and they know how to do it, and they've got a lot of invested.
Yeah, Coach, you kind of touched on it, but just tell us how nice it is to win the way this game kind of played out, where you guys jump on them from the beginning looking like the more prepared team, starting fast, but then finishing strong and looking like the more in shape team and coming up big when the game got tight and keeping your composure.
Yeah, I think it was a hard-fought game. You can feel it. It happens really fast in basketball games, but you can feel it, when the momentum shifts. You can feel it, and I surely felt it. And I kept saying, hey, we're winning. They're not winning. We're winning. And we're still ahead by 10 points. I kept saying that because I wanted to make sure everybody understood we were ahead. Because, you can feel it. It's almost like a, I don't want to say panic, but yeah, I think I might have been a little panicked. And so you got to figure out how to change that. So I think every time it's just like in life, man. When you go through really, really adverse, you can't be great without facing great conflict and adversity. So I love winning that way. I sure would have liked for it to have been easier.
Todd, can you talk about your defensive approach on Golson? You got so many sacks and turnovers in that game.
Yeah, that's one of the things I love about this game. He was the biggest challenge we've had to this point. Just real elusive, big-time strong arm. You've seen him hit some of him. If you mess up, he's going to make you pay. We had quite a few looks that we thought if we could get him moving forward in the pocket was what we were trying to do. And so it's just natural when you come in, because we're going to get people clean. The way we do what we do, we're going to get people free on the quarterback. So when you come free on the quarterback, your natural habit is to run at the upfield foot of the quarterback. So we really focused on running get him to move forward. Then we noticed, too, just the trajectory of the ball. So we really anchored outside. And early, man, they kept throwing the darn slant. I thought, golly, man, why aren't we batting these? We should be, because I thought our guys, because we had 6'6", 6'5", we have big guys. And so our game plan was, hey, man, let's anchor outside. Let's try to, we talked about forking the quarterback in the pocket. Get him to move up. Change who was the exterior blitzer every time. They check a lot of their protections, so we showed one way, brought it the other, showed in the middle, brought it outside. Our guys did a great job of executing that, we had some success. What happened about in the third quarter, he started getting away from us. We still had, I think we got a little tired. I think, we weren't hitting him as hard. And then I got a little conservative, started playing some cover 3 and stuff that we don't play. And then we made some mistakes, we gave up some things we shouldn't have gave up. But got to give them credit. I mean, he's a heck of a quarterback and a heck of a team. And their receivers are really, really special. And hats off to our guys because we bump and run almost every down. And that was a challenge. They came over after the first series, so I coached the DBs, and I said, I told you, boys, we can handle these guys, can't we? And they looked at me like, yeah, these guys are a little better than last week, Coach. Now, I don't think I'm going to agree with you on that deal. We might want to give a little bit of help, So, and I like it that our guys are honest. I said, what do you think of him? And Quishy said, he's really good, Coach. He's really good. I said, okay, well, so we'll give you some help about every third play, but we ain't stopping blitzing. And people don't realize, they look at what we do and they think it's a hodgepodge. It's not. It's very strategic, very trying to have minimal risk. And I'll be real honest with you, Coach Kelly made some great adjustments at halftime and caught me in some of the things that we were doing that were high risk. And you kind of have to make a choice if you're going to stay with what you're doing or you're going to change. And I probably stayed with what we were doing a little long. And he did a good job because he schooled us a little bit there in the third quarter, or there in the first part of the fourth quarter.
Yeah, Chris kind of took my question there, but I guess in the last 3 or 4 weeks since Stanford, the personnel shifts and the changes you've done, how have you liked the way the defense has responded there?
Yeah, I mean, we really just stopped making critical errors. And I'll be real honest with you, I really don't think it was our players. I think it was really us figuring it out. I said this the other day, our number one pressure last year that I ran with Carl and Will is our worst pressure this year. And for some reason, I won't quit calling it. You know what I'm saying? I just don't understand why it doesn't work. So, I think we adapted to them. We're big. If you look at us, we're big. And so we can't, and we were quick last year and smaller. So we've adapted even our techniques and things to fit them a little bit better, and that's been beneficial to us. And we've played a lot more people. DJ Calhoun, wow, we played him in third down nickel tonight. Man, boy, he was explosive. Big time night by him. Tayshawn Smallwood, wow, those are 2 pretty good 18-year-olds. Really did some great things, so very, very impressed with those guys. I thought there were a couple of guys that really stuck out. DeMario Richards, man. 3 pretty good 18-year-olds. 17. Well, whatever. I should know that. I can tell how many yards they have. That's not very good. I should have said that. Sorry.
Todd, in the second half, you guys obviously didn't have Jalen in for a lot of those plays. How different is the offense when he's not on the field, and what's his status?
I think he's fine. No one said anything to me like he was hurt, so so I think he'll be fine. And obviously, he's a big play guy, and he's a leader too. I mean, he is a guy that really is a very, very strong, silent leader for us. That we'd obviously rather have him be in there. So I think he's fine. I don't know, Mark, you hearing? I mean, cramps. Okay. They would have told me if he was hurt. So if not, then our trainer's in very bad trouble.
Coach, how do you compare this one to some of the other big games that you've coached in here, particularly UCLA last year?
The UCLA win last year clinched the Pac-12 South, so that one's pretty special. This one for this team, and because it is different because it's Notre Dame. I was being honest with you. When you grow up, obviously I'm a fan of college football, and then you see the job that they've done. This is the best football team they've had in a long time, and To go in 7-1, 7-1, Notre Dame at home, and see Sun Devil Nation come out like that, this has got to be, if you're asking me personally, because I always try to answer honestly, that's the biggest win. It means more to me than anything that's happened since we've been here, because of the the fact of who that team is we just beat is something just for me personally. Obviously, our goals are to be Pac-12 champions, and it does help us towards our goal of being a national champion. But that's pretty special.